You had probably been told to exercise for your PCOS, go for a walk, hit the gym, somehow lose weight. And let me guess, you have tried it all. Hit the gym, tried to work out till you collapse, tried yoga, but nothing seems to work. And trust me, I have been there. Here's what nobody tells you: the International Evidence Based PCOS Guidelines, most comprehensive PCOS research document in the world. It involves 39 professional organizations across 71 countries. It has all the specific detailed recommendations about what type of exercise you need to do, what intensity and dosage. And most women with PCOS have not heard about it. But today, we are going through all of it. You are going to leave this episode knowing exactly what kind of exercise to do, how much to do, and why to do it. So, 60 to 75% of women with PCOS have something called as insulin resistance. The ovaries become very sensitive to insulin. So, when your insulin gets chronically elevated, the ovaries produce more androgens, more testosterone, and that is what causes your symptoms. Basically, symptoms like belly, fat around the abdominal area, your extreme health growth increases that you don't want, your acne, the irregular periods. Exercise improves your insulin sensitivity directly. When your muscles contract repeatedly during exercise, something called as GLUT4 transporters, they pull the glucose out of the muscle directly, independent of insulin. So this reduces your chronic insulin elevation, and जो load हो रहा है ovaries पे, that insulin load is reduced. Exercise also reduces your inflammation because you have a chronic low-grade inflammation in your body. You must have seen it in your blood reports. CRP elevated, IL-6 elevated. So that is what targets the inflammation. So exercise is what targets your inflammation. Lastly, your stress response. You are not stressed because you have PCOS. You are stressed because you have PCOS. That makes sense. So PCOS is causing your dysregulated cortisol levels. And that is what dysregulates your HPA axis, which is your hypothalamus pituitary axis. This dysregulated cortisol drives your insulin resistance and why you can't seem to lose the weight. And that is why making exercise so important in regulation of your HPA, your dysregulated cortisol on your HPA axis. Exercise is one of the most effective HPA axis modulators we have. So research says that exercise improves your cardiovascular fitness, and all these improvements can occur independent of significant weight loss. So you don't need to lose a lot of weight to actually see some benefit in your PCOS symptoms as well as your cardiovascular fitness. Now you must be wondering, all this is fine, but what type of exercise do I need to do? Let's get into the evidence. I want to be honest with you here. No studies favor कि कौन सी type की exercise करनी चाहिए and what works best. Overall, there is no strong recommendation. There's a lot of evolution taking place in this sort of evidence when it comes to research. But here's what we know that works best. The 2023 PCOS guidelines recommend कि 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, aerobic activity overall, should be done for your general health, and minimum 250 minutes per week to achieve a moderate weight loss for a greater hormonal benefit. Moderate intensity meaning you can still carry out a conversation, but you know you're doing work. Again, I'm not talking about just a normal stroll and just walking around the house and working. You need to have an intentional effort to go on a walk for at least 25 to 30 minutes to actually see results. The key finding from the systematic review is that aerobic exercise improves your insulin sensitivity, it can reduce your BMI, it can reduce your androgen levels, and overall improves your menstrual regularity. And the data is very strong. Now you must be wondering, aerobic activity, what exactly? So you can go for a walk, you can go for a swim, you can dance. Whatever gets your heart rate up is aerobic activity. You need to do aerobic activity at least 3 times a week. What about resistance training? You must be wondering, the skinny girls in their 20s who look good because of genetics are the ones who are going to look bad in their 40s. They are going to start gaining weight in their 30s. They're going to have major bad symptoms in their 50s because of menopause. But women who are strength training in their early 20s and actually building their bodies like berries, they are actually going to have incredible glow up in their 40s and are going to regulate their menopause, regulate their hormones in not only their 40s, actually throughout their life. Because your muscle is a very metabolically active tissue. When you build muscle, you are increasing your resting metabolic rate and you create more glucose uptake sites. For somebody who has PCOS and your condition is driven by insulin resistance, this is good, because when you strength train, you are taking more sites, you are creating more sites for your glucose to have uptake and reducing your insulin resistance. So resistance training on at least 2 non-consecutive days per week is recommended according to research, in addition to the aerobic activity, both for your hormone management and your weight management in PCOS. So how do you go about it? Everyone's asking me this. Should I do HIIT or should I do a steady state cardio? HIIT meaning the high intensity interval training. Well, the research says that a meta-analysis done in 2023 says that HIIT seems to create more menstrual regularity than MICT, which is moderate interval continuous training. But the certainty of the evidence was very low. My clinical recommendation as a physio, HIIT, which is the high intensity training, can be great, but it is also causing a lot of physiological stress to your body. For women with already dysregulated cortisol या HPA axis issues हो रहे हैं, so too much high intensity can actually worsen your symptoms. So we need to earn that intensity. It's better to do aerobic training and dhire try to get into resistance training. And I also want to mention yoga specifically because it matters. So a 2023 meta-analysis of 11 studies found that yoga therapy can truly improve your menstrual regularity. For women who do not wish to do strength training a lot of the times, even if you go around doing strength training twice a week, I would recommend yoga, because it is something that can relax your parasympathetic nervous system and there are great benefits for regulating your HPA axis. So let me start giving you a concrete description. This is what evidence says for women with PCOS. Okay, there will be a chart of what kind of exercises you need to do according to the research down below. So you can click on the link and go download. So I'm just gonna say it out. Evidence-based starter prescription. Monday, 30 minutes you can do aerobic training. So you can take a brisk walk or you can cycle. Around 30 minutes you can do that, and then maybe just 10 to 15 minutes of resistance training. And the resistance training needs to involve your full body compound movements. Tuesday you can take a rest or you can do a light 20-minute yoga. Wednesday you can do a 35 minutes moderate aerobic training. Maybe go for a walk, go for a night stroll. Just make sure it is 30 to 35 minutes. Thursday again, Thursday again, you can go back to resistance training since Monday was the day you did resistance training. So Thursday, you can just do 30 minutes of proper resistance training for your body. Friday, again, you can go back to aerobic exercise. You can either go for a swim, go cycling, go for a walk, or you can just do a dance workout at home, as long as it's 30 minutes. Lastly, Saturday, you can do a light yoga session for your flexibility and moving your body. Sunday, again, you can take a complete rest day. This entire thing concludes 250 minutes of moderate aerobic at 2 times resistance training for the week. This will not worsen your PCOS symptoms. This is great for your hormonal benefit as well as metabolic. One critical note though, the guidelines specifically say that insulin resistance benefits of exercise can be given only if the exercise is performed regularly. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने प्रोटोकॉल तुमने सुन लिया and you're only doing one day of exercising 2 days you're taking rest, then other day you're exercising, 3 days later again. If you exercise just twice or thrice a week, it's not gonna make a difference. You need to put an intentional efforts towards your fitness. Don't do heavy restrictions, don't do heavy weight lifting just directly. That will spike your cortisol and worsen your insulin resistance. Calorie deficit should be maintained in you You can go grab your 7-day plan in the link below. And in the next episode, we are going to talk about something that PCOS women desperately want to understand: your fertility and conception, what's actually happening hormonally, and what research says about ovulation and exercise. And I've got a brilliant gynecologist joining us as a guest. See you in the next episode.